Family, the track we're about to interact with right now was brought to my attention via a donation from one of our subscribers. Now, if you want to recommend a song, the link to the PayPal is going to be in the description below because, of course, YouTube yanks 30% of super chats. Guys, I appreciate, as always, your open, curious attention. Back to the video.
Jiu-jitsu is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Long journey. As soon as you think you've gotten to a plateau, there's another plateau above that. It's very humiliating. You have to proceed in that manner, understanding that there's always somebody better, more technical, faster, stronger, all that. It's a wonderful journey.
You know what's crazy? My brother Black Pegasus does jiu-jitsu too. And you know, when Maynard says there's nothing more humiliating, right? It's like the word humility, right? Reminding you of your place, right? It's not humiliating and like the embarrassing, I should recoil, I'm embarrassed. It's knowing who you are in the arena, right? It's an agent arena relationship, right? Who am I in the world? Like who am I in this ring, in this match, right? And I think what he means by that is he's reminded when he does jiu-jitsu of his place. There's people he can't overcome. There's people he can overcome. There's things that he learns, and there's growth throughout it.
I recommend it. This is Verde Valley Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor Stefan Dahlstedt and Jesse Teague, and my buddy Tim White. It's just this, breaking this grip first of all. Boom. Here. There. And then I'm going to climb up. This gives me the leverage to face you and bring my knees up.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's an awful position.
Yeah.
Because I've got everything here.
Right.
Oxygen in the brain is important for creativity and productivity and just being aware and in your skin. Being in the wine industry or being on the mat, you have to be conscious and present for that to be a successful endeavor. You can't phone it in. You can't really cut corners for it to be, for the wine, the vineyard suffers if you're not present, right? Same thing.
And that's kind of what I mean again by the agent arena relationship. It's like, imagine a gardener. The gardener is made better by the garden, and the garden is made better by the gardener, and then the gardener is made better by the garden, and then the garden is made better by the gardener. And it's kind of like this this positive feedback loop, what I call kind of reciprocal opening, or what,
On the mat. If you're snoozing, there's somebody that's going to put you to sleep. Verde Valley Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're walking in the door as a white belt, you don't know anything. So every day that you go there, even though you might make some small progressions, it's about you really digging in and self-evaluating and understanding exactly what humility smells like. Because it's a tough road from white belt to black belt. It's a long road and it requires you. Nobody else can do that but you. You have to put the time in. You have to progress. You have to do it. No one can do it for you. If you have that belt, by the time you get to a black belt, you've earned it. There's no shortcuts. My father was my wrestling coach in high school. Solid coach, taught me a lot. My father expects a lot when it came to coaching. He expected, because he knew that you had more in you than you were giving as a high school student. That's just the nature of high school students, right? But his take was always, you have more in you than what you're given. Listen, I'm telling you, when you're studying the distinction between a coach and a mentor and a counselor and a therapist, I mean, when somebody needs therapy, you don't want to assume that role. But you can assume the role of giving someone counsel, giving someone mentorship, giving someone coaching. And there are different tools that you use in each of those identities, if you want to assume any of those identities. But in the coaching identity, it's all about seeing what's latent inside a person and informing them, right? Information is what you need to unlock the potential, right? To activate the potential within someone. And that's what a good coach does. It sees latent potential in you, and it coaxes that potential out of you. win or you learn. So you go on that mat, you're on your own, and maybe you won. But if you didn't win, what did you learn?
Down a little bit, just down, just to kind of get rid of the V. Just go like this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. V. Goes Adam's apple.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
Come down.
Yeah.
And then just turn your wrists out.
Good.
Yeah. And a career.
Because if you didn't learn anything, then you lost. So you either win or you learn on that mat. I discovered jiu-jitsu through Tim Alexander.
You win or you learn. And this is the concept of fairness. You know what I mean? It's like the reason that everyone is a winner, and this is kind of one of the reasons that they have, that there are weight classes, like in boxing or jiu-jitsu, there are weight classes, right? And the reason that there are weight classes is so that everyone wins, so that the loser can say, hey, you know what? There's someone in my opponent that I can genuinely aspire to. If the weight classes were different, right? If you had a heavyweight going against a lightweight, then, you know, the loser wouldn't get anything. They would get their ass whooped. And it's like, yeah, I can't really aspire to be that. I'm just not a heavyweight. That's not my body type, right? And so the reason, you know, for those distinctions in weight classes may be that, you know, for there to be genuine fairness. Fairness meaning the loser gets something too, even if what they get is a lesson in what they can aspire to be if they train harder.
Drummer for Primus. He showed me the tapes of the early UFCs, and I found a gym near me, Hicks and Gracie's gym down on Pico, mid to late 90s is when I found that place. And I dug in, and I just wanted to learn, having grown up a wrestler with my dad, and that was a skill set that I had a foundation in. So I felt like this is something that I can learn. Of course, we walk in the door as a wrestler, and a lot of that stuff is absolutely not applicable. So you're completely like, oh, I got this, and they're like, how long was I out?
Cross. Right there. No, you're gripping too far over. Get a little moment up in here. Come down. That's already there.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Okay.
Because what you've done is you come here, and all you got to do is point your thumb, turn your wrist that way. Yep. And the other one. No. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
It's just this.
I need to practice that a lot.
Yeah. That was the blood.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll see when you hit it right on these guys.
Yeah.
And if you go slow,
Yeah.
if you go fast, they're panicking. They're trying to get out.
Right.
If you're like, oh, and you're looking at something,
Yeah.
and you're doing this, they're like,
Wow.
and then you draw dicks on their forehead.
It's so dope, you know, what Maynard is teaching right there, because he's like, even in combat, even in the midst of combat, there are some moments where it's better not to freak out, right? And that's, I think, a part of what, you know, when you're learning to fight, you might think, why would somebody learn to fight, right? And it's because you want cognitive availability during a stressful moment. It's the same reason people watch horror movies. It's like, okay, let me build up the circuitry to know how to go from a high stress situation back to a cognitively available state. I respect it.
When you look at something like the USC, you have to understand that the
Diaz.
people that are operating in that circle,
That's
they are
Nate Diaz,
extremely
boy.
gifted, world-class athletes. Anybody that's, you know, a top-level boxer, a top-level MMA guy, their body in some way is, you know, far above
Holly
and beyond
Holm.
your average person.
Holly Holm with that devastating leg kick, buddy. She'll kick your head off your shoulders, boy.
Who does martial arts.
Salute to Holly Holm.
Yeah, whatever.
Holly Holm is a sweetheart too. I love Holly Holm.
We have you like combing your hair, combing your hair.
And I hit it. Yeah.
I don't, I'm not living any illusions. I will never be in the octagon. I'm not built for it. What I do martial arts for is multiple things, just personal growth and personal understanding and reflection. But also because it's a self-defense technique. The idea of any self-defense, you know, martial art is that maybe it'll never happen, but if you're in a situation where you end up having some drunken blithering idiot or somebody's crazy. So I do it for that purpose. But the chess part of it on the mat, in the gi, is very mentally stimulating.
Yo, I think I remember that moment where Maynard flipped that guy over, but he was also kind of like riding this guy. It was a very weird moment. You guys recall what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to bring up the video, but it was a very strange moment after he flipped that guy over. He kind of like humiliated this guy.
Step by step. If you watch some of the top level black belt guys competing, it's half inches. They're making adjustments that are half inches, and you're watching them try to out-chess each other like 6 moves ahead to shut off where the guy's heading for the checkmate. It really is that gorgeous.
The arm bar causes a tap so quick. It's crazy. It's like as soon as somebody's in it, yep, that's it. Don't dislocate my arm.
To watch. Boring for a stadium full of USC people watching it, but for people who understand the art and watch those quarter inches and half inches go by, it's amazing chess. I've seen a lot of my friends, and peers, or they get successful in a thing, and they think that because they're successful because of this element or this thing that happened, that's why I'm successful. I did that. When a lot of it could just be circumstance. It's just accidental. A million variables came together and put you in this position where you're successful. And then they drive their stake in the ground and go, I know what I'm doing. Well, as soon as you say that you know what you're doing and you're convinced that you know what you're doing, you're dead.
Oh man, yeah, guys, I salute to the patron who recommended via PayPal that I watch this series.
You have to grow. Life is absolute change and chaos, and you have to be adaptable. And I think something that's really important to point out to people is, if you're an artist and you're going to be writing songs, making wine, photography, filmmaking, painting, whatever that is, do what feels right to you. Follow a combination of your head and your heart. Like your intuition is important. Your experience is almost as important, if not more. That balance of actual hard work, understanding, using your experiences to move forward with that art, but understand that you are on your fucking own. You are alone. Do what makes you feel like you're successful, or at least setting up the next level of, okay, I've reached that understanding, now let's go to the next level. Big fan of Chris Cornell. When was the last time did you think about Chris Cornell this week? I didn't. I love the guy. Alan Rickman, David Bowie, it's, there's a bunch of posts on Facebook, and then you go about your way. So that's what's going to happen to you, by the way. People are going to be upset that you're gone, and then they're going to move the fuck on with their lives.
Wow.
So be happy with what your decisions are.
Guys, can you sit with that? People are going to mourn, in your inner circle. They're going, some people will tell stories about you. That might happen for a few weeks or a few months if you're, maybe a few years if you really kind of reach that kind of status, or it's like if you're Michael Jackson or an Elvis Presley, then you might go down in the history books. But yeah, man, it's identify as a way of being, right? So I think I said that in the first one of these, not as a human being, because then as the things you identify with as a human being begin to perish, you'll assume that you're perishing.
You're on your own. You don't owe anybody anything. But if you're doing your job and you're doing it accurately enough, and you're expressing from the heart, from the core, from your experiences and your intuition, other people are going to resonate with that. It's going to resonate with them. They're going to get something out of it. Their day might go better because of what your true, honest approach to what you're doing. You're going to help other people. You're going to help yourself. You're going to help your family. But just understand, at the end of the day, nobody owes you as an artist any kind of accolades. You don't owe them anything. They don't owe you anything. You're just doing.
Yeah, baby. Fam, that was excellent. Thank you for going on this ride with me. Thank you to the patron who recommended this 4-part series, my understanding of the tool process, and, a perfect circle in Pussifer, the processes that kind of go through Maynard's mind and how he keeps himself grounded. Tons and tons of wisdom and insights in that series.